And John Dickerson is with me from Washington. He's our CBS News chief Washington correspondent and anchor of Face the Nation. So, John, Congressman Schiff renewed his call for an independent counsel in the Russia probe. What do the battle lines look like on each side on this issue of an independent counsel?
Well, Democrats have called for it. Some Republicans have called for it, like Senator John McCain, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And so it will continue to be something that's called for. There are kind of different kinds of arguments for why it should or shouldn't happen. Obviously, in the wake of this week, the idea that independence is difficult when the president can fire the FBI director. It will certainly be a big topic of conversation. That notion of independence will be a big topic of conversation whenever the new FBI director is named, and then, of course, has to go through the confirmation process.
Well, John, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein is going to brief the Senate in the next few days. How important will that testimony be for President Trump and for Mr. Rosenstein himself? It's
a great question. It's a fascinating part of this drama because everybody knows that President Trump is disruptive, and for some people, that is the best part of his presidency. What has happened in this case, though, is that the conflicting stories have put at risk the reputations of his vice president, of his White House staff, and now of the deputy attorney general, because they put forward a set of events that the president then contradicted. And so their reputations are separate, and Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein basically wrote a letter, and the key question is, was that letter written as a pretext for a firing that the president was doing for totally different reasons? And if so, did he and the administration use the reputation of the Deputy Attorney General as a kind of cover story for the real reasons that Director Comey was being fired? And if they did that, did the Deputy Attorney General know it? Did he have an inkling of it? Was he misled? And this matters, of course, because it not only tells us something about the operations of the president, but also the Deputy Attorney General will have other issues before him and other matters, including the ongoing investigation into Russia and its effort to meddle into the election. So his future ability to tell the truth and be believed is at stake here. Well, John, in practical terms, what does the firing of FBI Director Comey do to the GOP's agenda? Well, it creates two things. It distracted this whole week from the agenda. That can be, that can be fixed because, but what it does for a lot of Republicans is, at least based on my reporting, is that this was a highly unpredictable week. And improvisation, again, is a great quality of this president's, but it also terrifies other politicians because they don't know where the next improvisation is going to lead them, and they may have to answer for something they're not prepared for. They certainly were not prepared for this week in the way it rolled out. And so as they're taking risks, always with their election in mind, as they're taking risks on policy, they also have to be very mindful of the other kinds of risks that will be put before them without the planning and on which they will have to make a very quick calculation. And that just leads people who are normally risk averse to a risky period, and that can lead to some unsettled times. Well, John, President Trump this week directly contradicted his communications staff on the process behind Comey's firing. Here's what he told Fox News about that contradiction.
Are you moving so quickly that your communications department cannot keep up with you?
Yes, that's true.
So what do we do about that?
We don't have press conferences, and we do...
You don't mean that.
Well, just don't have them. Unless I have them every 2 weeks and I do myself. We don't have them.
What role do spokespeople like Press Secretary Sean Spicer play if the president basically says no one speaks for him? Well, that is a challenge. I think if you just look at the situation this week, it was not that the president necessarily was moving so quickly, although clearly his staff was surprised by what the president did. But once the president did it, they were in communication with the president about the reasons that he did it. And so in offering the first series of events, the first narrative in this story, they were essentially
offering what the president himself was offering. There was no distance between what the president said and what they said. And also we know that because not only about reporting about what the president told them, but also the president put it in his letter to James Comey about why he was firing him, which is to say that he was acting on the recommendations of the Deputy Attorney General. So it wasn't that he was moving too fast for them to catch up with him. They had meetings about this. They squared their story. It's just that the story changed with no intervening event. So that's the challenge here. That won't be fixed by taking away press conferences.
All right, John Dickerson, thanks so much.
Thanks, Elaine.